Hey guys, Jake the Sports here. And today we got the halftime of the North Carolina game. Sorry, just readjusting the camera. Halftime of the North Carolina game. I really don't know what to say about this game so far. It's exactly what I've been expecting. It's going to be harder than it was against BC, but it's not going to be as hard as the Clemson game was. It's very rare that you see these teams trying to pull off an upset, tied, or even up at halftime, come back towards the end. BC was up big on Clemson at half. So I'm not going to get too worried. But there have been a lot of frustrating things. Number 14 on the defense made an amazing play, and he got called for targeting. That led to them getting a field goal. And, their first touchdown, again, we were pretty far backed up, and that score was a fluke. I mean, they started at the 50-yard line. Granted, they did get down there pretty quickly, but I don't know. It's just, in my, Notre Dame's not played a perfect game, and Notre Dame's had a tendency of struggling after bye weeks, but it's just frustrating. It's just really frustrating. That we're tied with the North Carolina team at half that we shouldn't be tied to. This is a team we should be beating by at least, 7 at the half. And, I'm going to start ranting and raving here, but listen, Brian Kelly, what are you doing? Okay, so Notre Dame, first of all, Ian Book. Ian Book has been great this game. If you've watched this game, Ian Book's played a great ball game, and we're lucky we're not down by more, because that could certainly have been the case. Ian Book avoided quite a few sacks there. It was just phenomenal. They were saying he's basically been playing backyard football. He likes being uncomfortable. And he's really settled into a dynamic playmaker for Notre Dame. He's a guy that can change games, I'm not saying he's up there with the likes of Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence, but I think it's pretty safe to say he's that next tier. And so I'm just shouting out Ian Book here. I know he's totally watching this video right now, but yeah, I'm just saying shout out to him. That's probably my main positive out of this, but there are a lot of things wrong here. One, I think just spreading the ball out, It was mainly just running to Kyron Williams and giving it to Baby Gronk, or Michael Mayer, whatever you want to call him. I like Baby Gronk. But, yeah, I was talking about Brian Kelly, and, the main thing I get on Brian Kelly about is just him being conservative. I can't stand being conservative in football. I just can't stand it. I just can't. If I was a head coach, sorry for the beeping, by the way, but if I was a head coach, and this actually reminds me, I was watching the Texas-Iowa State game earlier today, and obviously there was like a penalty on Texas or something. It was like offsides, but they scored the touchdown anyways, right? But there's still time on the clock, and I was thinking to myself, they're obviously going to decline the penalty because it stand as a touchdown. They take the lead. But if I was a head coach there, I'd make a bold decision and accept the penalty. You got first and goal with 1:25 to go. So you can grind out some of that clock before you have to give the ball up, because it almost came back to bite them in the end. He missed the Texas guy missed the field goal, but you get my point. But anyways, so Ian Book throws a ball, which, it wasn't thrown perfectly, obviously. Skowronek didn't catch it, but, Skowronek, unless he made an insane acrobatic play, he wasn't going to catch it, right? There's 5 seconds left on the clock. We're down by 3, and Brian Kelly chooses to kick the field goal. And I think a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this decision, but I hated that. I hated that call. I think he could have snuck one more play in there. Say, take a shot to the end zone, that is. if he doesn't catch it, there will be 1 or 2 seconds left on the clock. You can kick the field goal anyways. I don't know. I feel like if we had one more shot there, we would have scored a touchdown, and it's just really frustrating. It's just been missed opportunities for Notre Dame tonight. I mean, that's the main story. But again, I don't really know how to feel. I just feel like Notre Dame will come in big later in the game. I think, Ian Book's played a great game. And that's another thing. It's just, this has been the story of Notre Dame tonight. When our defense is coming up big, the offense can't make big plays. And when the defense is lacking, the offense goes off. We just weren't clicking at the right time. I think, which was pretty frustrating. And that doesn't get a team going. It just doesn't. So, there are perfect examples. I mean, Notre Dame, stopped North Carolina on 2 drives. Didn't let him get any points. It was still 14-all. And it's like Ian Book just froze there. It looked like he froze, And it's not all Ian Book's fault. He had a few good throws, but it was just the offense overall that froze. And it's just frustrating, And, North Carolina made many mistakes too, but you think North Carolina will take a tie ball game at the half with the number 2 team in the country? Absolutely. They absolutely will. So, I don't know, man. Depending on how this game goes, if it's close going into the third quarter, I think I'll make a third quarter update, score report, whatever. But, if Notre Dame pulls away here, I think I'll just, I'll come back outside and do it here, and, that'll wrap up the night. But, yeah, it's a little weird doing this on a Friday. Still probably come out with some Saturday rant videos, we'll see. But, yeah, man, it's just frustrating. You can't, but this isn't like the Duke game, Because no one expected us to play close with Duke. Everyone expected us to be a close game. So, it's hard to be frustrated, man. But there's just, Notre Dame hasn't played terrible, but they're just not clicking at the right time. And it certainly is frustrating. But it's a little rainy out here. There's no way I'm going back there because it's way too dark out. But my garage lights actually, or the lights outside my garage here turn on whenever someone's around it. So it's good. But yeah, I might see you guys for the third quarter. So stay tuned. But go Irish. We really got to step up here, though. Let's go Irish.